welcome to today's video. My name is Dave Adams. In today's video, we're going to touch on an interesting topic which involves 3 units of measure that are applied when it comes to font sizing. We're going to compare them and see how they match up against each other. And we're going to see which situations are ideal for each of these units of measure. Let's get right into it. I created a new project folder for today's video to help me better explain the concepts that I'm going to teach. Discussing these 3 units of measure when it comes to font sizing. REM and M are kind of similar in the sense that they are based on the concept of inheritance. They both inherit from something. REM inherits from the root element, which basically means it inherits the default browser font size, while EM inherits from its direct ancestor or direct parent. Now, pixel is described as an absolute unit because it's not scalable like the other two, which can be described as scalable units. M and REM shine when it comes to accessibility and responsiveness. A few people have visual impairments that may require them to have fonts of unusual sizes. Using an absolute unit such as pixels overrides such a configuration, and that's not a good situation for such a person. M and REM go hand in hand with responsiveness because they are scalable. On the other hand, an absolute unit like pixels will hurt responsiveness because a font size that was made for a larger screen might look out of place when it comes to a smaller screen. It's time to demonstrate how everything works. I want to create 3 H1 elements within a parent div. And then my H1 elements. I'm going to give them different classes, each REM, M, and PX. Now that I'm done creating all these elements, I want to target them within our CSS file. And the first thing I want to demonstrate is how REM works. I said earlier that REM inherits from the root element, which is also the same as the default font of a person's browser. Most browsers, I think, have a default font size of 16px. To prove that, I'm also going to populate the tags with some text content. What I want to do is go straight into the REM and give it a font size of 2 REM. What we should expect is 16 times 2 because the default size of my browser is 16px, and that should give us 32. Going into the browser, I'm going to highlight this and inspect it. Then I'm going to use the selector tool and hover over it. And you can see that the font is 32px times New Roman. The next thing I want to demonstrate is how M works. So I said earlier that M inherits from the direct ancestor of the element. Now the direct ancestor of this H1 tag with a class of M is the parent div. What I want to do is to set a default font size for the parent div and then do a scalable font size on the class of M. I'm going to give the parent div a font size of 20px. Now what I want to do is to give this M class a font size of 1.5 M. The font size I should expect is 30 pixels. Since the new default font I've given it is 20 pixels, this should be 20 by 1 times 1.5. Now using the selector tool, when I hover over it, you can see that the font size is now 30px. Now going into the px class, all I want to do is give it a pixel size of 100px. And when you hover over it, you can see that the font size is 100px. They are all H1 tags, but we've been able to apply different font sizes with different principles. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and share.